Okay, guys, I want to talk about my book right now. So, I am so excited. I just spoke for like the last half an hour, hour and a half actually, on the phone with a publisher. So, things are going. I'm excited. This is a Christian publisher, which I happened to just kind of stumble across. I didn't realize it was a Christian publisher. I had talked a few years back with Balboa Publishing, and we had talked about my book and whether I wanted to go professionally or whether I wanted to, publish on my own with KDP. You know what? It's just a lot of work here to try to get not only my story out in my perspective and how I want to do things. It's just so much work that I'm just like, look, in the future, when I get on my feet here, I'm going professionally. Just because, for me, coming from the background that I have, I would have too many grammatical mistakes. I would have too many run on sentences. And even though I graduated early from high school, I still have gaps. And even as a homeschool mom, I still have gaps. So it's just, I'm like, I just need help. I need help. It's just the way it is. I had looked into publishing on my own and, looking at Kobo and KDP and getting all caught up in the in and outs of all the technical stuff, and I'm not real computer literate. So I'm like, I need community. I need to get help with this book. So I'm really thankful for this opportunity. I'm going for it. By next year, I will have my book out by next year. That's the goal. So getting on my feet after my husband dumped me in the dumps, getting on my feet, getting work, looking for those sale prices with this company, taking the input. I had shared my story, and she's like, you have such a powerful testimony. Everybody I talk to is like, your testimony is so powerful, coming to Christ, coming out of darkness to Christ. They're like, you got to write a book. You just got to write a book. So it's something that God has put in my heart for about 7 years now. I had sent, like, I had done some writing on my computer like 7 years ago when I had talked to Balboa. And then I keep healing and I keep having things happen. So I have to add that to my story. And I'm just like, I need the feedback. I need it. And when I talk about feedback, I'm not talking about people who are critical with you. Like, I had this job and she's like, you forgot this, this, and this. And I'm like, you know what? You didn't even have this on the list. So she's like, you ought to be open to feedback. You're not even open. And I'm thinking to myself, look who's talking. I'm telling you something and you're not open to feedback. So, this lady was so encouraging. I want a Christian company because I know they're going to have excellent standards. I want a Christian company, publishing company, because I know that my work will go out well. I don't think they're going to put words into my mouth. I need somebody trustworthy with my work. So, yeah, I'm doing it. And in the meantime, while I'm getting on my feet and going through this divorce, I have more time to look at my writing and say, do I really want to take this as a teen talking about this? What do you know as a teen? You're 16, your mother tells you not to read something, you don't read it. You don't really know what you're doing. Or do I want to take it as an adult now, as somebody suggested, and write down what I remember? How do I want to do this? And I think it's kind of a mix for me because I think that's the way it should go because, obviously I didn't know what they were putting in me when I got to the doctors. Now I know it was like a seaweed. They have a name for it, Larminix or something like that, and it makes you dilate. Now I can see that. So there's things I can see now that I didn't see as a kid, but I do want to share how I was feeling as a kid about it. So there's just so much to this book. There's how I want to help other women, how I want to share all the post traumatic stress and help women understand what they're going through. different experiences of women. You know, some women have taken other women to Planned Parenthood. Add that on, and how, you know, how awful you feel after that. Add some history. I think years ago, before the 80s, 87 was mine. I think women had a 2 day, you know, experience. Mine was 1 day and done. So, you know, I've had two post abortive classes. I'm still in learning more about everything. So I have a year to pull all this together. Um, and I can do it. So I know I can do it. I've got to think about my book cover. And you guys want to leave any ideas in the comments? I'm open to input. Everything that I have success in is through community. So, you know, my exercise is community. My learning about God has been through church and community. My finances has been community. Learning how to do it, because if you have money doesn't mean you know what to do with it. So everything I'm doing that brings success is through community. Homeschooling, I had a lot of books. I had parenting classes, how to mother. One of the greatest things my son just said something to me, and it's one of the greatest rewards of motherhood. He said to me, "Thanks, Mom, for keeping on me and keep pointing me to Christ. Thank you for doing that." So he was kind of, you know, walking with God, but struggling a little bit with some things. And I was shocked that he just came into the bedroom one night, and boys tend to be more sensitive at night, right? And he came in and said, "Thanks for being the one who kept pointing me to Christ." You know, not the only one, but being that type of mother. So that was a huge compliment. And I was just, you know, humbled by his insight to that. So, being a mother, like I was talking to somebody, being a mother is one of the best things that can happen. We're taught, like I've got another video coming out. I don't know what's the matter with my camera. Maybe you can't see it, but I can see it coming in and out, dark and light. I did a video about struggling with our periods, struggling with the way we're made when we're trying to work. So we live in a very male energy society in some ways still, and we're taught as women to get out there, to have a career, to work, when we don't make enough room for the inner energy of women. We don't make enough room for the softness in our society. We don't talk about homemaking. When I was raising my kids, I would go to like fuel assistants, and they'd be like, "What do you do for work?" And I'm like, I'm a homemaker, I'm a mother, I'm a wife." We don't acknowledge that nowadays. Why don't we acknowledge like the softer side of life? We don't. We as women, I think, need to stand up to society and be like, we're not all going to be out there working like men. We're just not. It's not conducive to who we are. It's not going to make us better women. We need to have a huge woman tribe around us. And this is why I also like, you know, Get Organized HQ, because there's a ton of women on there and we can relate to one another as homemakers. So I've gone from being way out there on the outside, worldly woman, to just pulling it in over and over and over until I have become that woman who is a godly woman who loves God. I don't say I'm perfect. I say I love God. That makes me a godly woman. To being learning how to be a wife and a mother, homemaker, homeschool mom, and being part of a healthy community. So that all took a huge investment in myself, and it can be done. It can be done. It just takes the right community to be around to be able to do that, and a lot of hard work. So that's what I got for now, guys, and I will keep you posted on what I'm doing with my book. I have another channel about reading and writing, two other channels that I'll probably connect down the road to this, and just get going. And I also, if you want to subscribe in my community, I have a new Substack I have started, and will be writing about abortion. So you can connect there and get on my email list, and I will be writing on a regular basis. Okay, thanks for joining me, guys.